Jean Greer here at Stylish Fireplaces, introducing you to Napoleon Astound. These are built-in linear fireplaces. By built-in, we mean we've put it into our framed opening, and then we're going to bring our wall materials down over the firebox up to the viewing area and into this window frame. Because it's built in, it must be direct wired, and that means it can't be on a plug. When you close up this wall, you no longer have access to the receptacle, therefore you can't have that open receptacle behind the wall, and it must be direct wired. It can connect to 120 volts or 240 volts. The main advantage to connecting with 240 volts is that you have more power for the heater. So on 120 volts, an electric fireplace will max out around 5,000 BTUs, which warms up about 400 square feet. If I connect to 240 volts, my BTUs will max out around 10,000, and so I'm heating up a bigger area or I'm heating up a smaller area more quickly. As with all electrics, I don't have to have the heater on to have the flames on. So I can use this fireplace year-round under any heating and cooling conditions, and I can enjoy the flames year-round. Speaking of heat, this viewing glass is tilted back slightly, and the heat vent is actually up here, tucked away under the frame. So when I look at this front, it's very clean with no gaps and no grills. Over on the far right at the top of the glass, I have a very discreet touchpad. So the touchpad will control very basic features, on, off, flames. If I want to control all the features, I'm going to need the remote, and it looks like that, or the app. This does have a Wi-Fi app. I will say that the app is the best way to go. There are so many features on new electric fireplaces. The app is more visual. It is an easier way to control these fireplaces, including the Astound. We find this remote a little bit clunky, a little bit of a delayed reaction getting the functions to respond. It will do the job, but it is not intuitive, so it will take some time to get used to this remote. The app is definitely simpler, believe it or not. So we have this big, bold viewing area. This is about a 20-inch viewing area between the inside edges of this picture frame around the window. And this is a deeper fireplace. This is about 12 inches deep, which is deep by electric standards, certainly not by gas standards, but about 12 inches deep, which gives us a more realistic looking fire. Generally speaking, if we can go deeper like this, we're going to have a more realistic looking fireplace. And because it's bigger, bolder, deeper, the logs are life-size and they are very realistic looking. They're sitting on an ember bed of crushed glass and stones. It's sort of a combination, and you can choose how you set that up. The flames themselves have orange and yellow. I can have all yellow or all orange or a combination, which is what I'm showing here. Generally, I find the more yellow, the more realistic it's going to look, but that's personal preference. And if the room is very bright and you want a little bit more of that orange to make the flames pop in a bright room, that's certainly an option for you. There is down lighting to hit the logs, and that can change color. There is ember bed lighting to light up below the logs, and that can change color. So lots of options to personalize the lighting inside, and that's very typical of Napoleon. They always give us lots of features like that on their linear fireplaces. So there you have it. It's the Astound built-in electric fireplace from Napoleon. Other units that I would compare this one to, the Amante Symmetry Extra Tall units and Extra Tall Bespoke are certainly going to give you a very similar overview. The extra tall window, the picture frame, the depth, and the bigger logs. So I would compare that. The difference being the Amante is a slide-in unit, whereas this is a built-in unit. So Amante would go in at the end of the wall construction. This one goes in during framing. I would also look at the Dimplex Ignite Bold, so the XLF Bold. It also has a taller window, but a frameless installation. It's built in, but it doesn't have a picture frame around it. So if you prefer not to have a picture frame, then the Bold would give you that. And then any of the three-sided or multi-sided fireplaces from any of the manufacturers, they may not be as tall as this. Now, a Monty True View Extra Tall would give you the tall viewing area with the option to have glass on the sides. But what many people are doing with the three-sided fireplaces is they're blocking the ends, using them as single-sided to get the extra depth and the frameless installation. So if you want this height, look at a Monty True View Extra Tall, but any multi-sided fireplace would give you a built-in fire with a little bit of extra depth for the logs. So those are available from all of the different manufacturers. So again, this is Napoleon Astound, built-in linear electric. You can find it at stylishfireplaces.ca. Search by brand and look for Napoleon, or search by Astound.